Las Vegas ranks one of the worst in the country for red light runners, and some say the solution is installing automatic cameras to catch the culprits.
The problem is the cameras are against the law here in Nevada. However, one state senator is trying to change that. With more on our top story, Stacey Escalante joins us live from the corner of Charleston and Decatur. And of course, Stacey, that is one of the worst intersections in the city.
Kendall, we've been seeing people running the red all day long. Most people are getting away with it because obviously it's unrealistic to have a cop on every corner. But some say put a camera up high like the one on our truck and people will remember the meaning of yellow and red.
Somebody will run it, watch. There goes one. There goes another, the truck right there. He ran through a red light.
Christopher Michael can't give a ticket. He isn't a cop, but he can sure be a judge.
Oh, hell yeah, he could have stopped. He wasn't going that fast.
He's at Charleston and Decatur, but pick any corner.
When I was waiting for the bus over at Flamingo in Decatur, I was sitting there watching, and there was 5, 6 cars that went through it when it was already red.
You said, do I do it? I didn't say I haven't. I think everybody's run a red light at one time or another. Have you?
Yes. That's why people run red lights. They don't get caught.
Some states have cameras that catch red light runners. In Nevada, ours only monitor traffic. That's because Nevada state law prohibits cities from using photographic equipment to issue traffic tickets. Senator Dina Titus is trying to change the law. In the meantime, opponents from the National Motorist Association say the answer lies in the engineering, improving the signal timing. They claim in Mesa, Arizona, lengthening the yellow light lowered the number of red light tickets. Local engineers don't think that'll work.
The yellow indication, what it simply does is the more you bump up the yellow time, the more people run through the yellow time and even into the red.
Las Vegas Area Computer Traffic System operates these cameras. It's a regional organization. They say cities in southern Nevada work together to coordinate uniform traffic systems. Well, the National Motorist Association don't think they're doing a really good job. As far as the red light cameras go, they think it's a ploy to make money. Those in support of it say it's a deterrent just like police. Now, Titus is proposing an amendment. If it passes, it has to go back to the Senate, but a lot of people in the Senate fear that it's government intrusion. So we'll have to wait and see. Reporting live, I'm Stacey Escalante. Back to you in the studio.
Meantime, traffic officers are also cracking down on drivers who refuse to pull to the side of the road when an emergency vehicle is approaching. This is part of their accident reduction team where officers go undercover to catch drivers breaking the law. Officers will be out responding with emergency crews until 8 o'clock tonight.
A 64-year-old Las Vegas woman is killed in her own home and then set on fire. It happened this morning at the Portola del Sol apartment complex on Simmons Street, just north of Vegas Drive. The Asian woman's identity has not been released yet. Neighbors heard the woman's smoke detector. When a maintenance crew arrived, they say she was on fire on the floor of her kitchen. There was also some blood underneath her. Neighbors, understandably, feel uneasy.
Uncomfortable how? Well, uncomfortable that it was, it's close. Whatever the circumstance is, it's close. And anything like that, and if, you're anywhere close to it, it's going to, it should bother you.
Neighbors say they saw a bald African-American man get into the woman's car and drive off. The man is believed to be in his 20s or 30s, and so far, police haven't found him.
A school principal from the Midwest faces federal kidnapping charges for leaving Indiana with a student from his elementary school. The two were picked up this morning in Las Vegas along Boulder Highway near the Budget Suites where they'd been staying. The FBI says this man, 28-year-old William Andy Beth, took off with 11-year-old Gabrielle Marshall a week ago when she ran away from her parents. The FBI told local authorities the two were headed to Las Vegas.
This is the kind of work that police officers do, and every single day they do something like this everywhere. I'm proud that we're able to bring this little girl back to safety and bring resolution to this very traumatic event for her parents.
Beth will face a judge tomorrow at 3 o'clock. He's been fired from his position as principal. Incidentally, he moved into that position when his father was fired back in 1998 for sexual misconduct.
A nice neighborhood that keeps attracting some very bad people. For weeks, we've been telling you about a series of home invasions in the south part of the valley near Eastern and Windmill. Now it appears another criminal is working that same area. Denise Ross joins us live with more on the story. And Denise, from robberies to burglaries, some people just don't feel safe in their homes anymore.
And Beth, a lot of these crimes are happening behind locked gates in gated communities. Now, we've all seen this sketch a number of times over the past couple of weeks. This is a suspect in that series of home invasions. Now, this guy uses a gun to get inside people's homes. But now police wonder if they have another criminal to worry about. And this one is quiet. Last night, someone scaled this wall right here. This wall is so tall I can't even reach the top of it. They went over the wall, in through a back door, slipping in and out before the homeowner knew what happened.
Well, when we came in, this was halfway, and I knew I had locked it so nobody could get in while we were there, and they just slid it.
Louise Oshowski just wanted some fresh air, but a simple screen door was no match for one very bold burglar. Monday night, Louise and her husband Leon were sitting in their computer room when a stranger came in, grabbing wallets and jewelry. He left before the couple knew he was there. Just down the street, a neighbor was hit too. This time, the burglar went in an open garage.
Close your garage doors, keep your doors locked. We thought that just for a moment it didn't matter, but how many times have we heard that? Hopefully we won't have to hear it much more.
Maybe we'll go get a dog at least to have somebody to bark at him.
Now, police have no description of this very brazen burglar because, again, no one has seen him. Back here behind the wall of Louise's house, police did recover a good deal of her credit cards and some smashed up CDs that had been in her purse. Apparently the burglar ran up the street throwing CDs as he went, and Louise has to laugh about that. She says apparently this guy doesn't like Bon Jovi. Reporting live, I'm Denise Ross for News 3.
Crime scene investigators dusted for fingerprints from both houses last night, but so far they have no leads in the case.
Time to check on traffic. Tom Hawley in Sky 3 earlier around 4 o'clock. 95 was a mess, Tom.
It really was. There were a couple of different accidents on 95 coming in from the northwest. They have since been cleared out of the way, and actually here in the 6 o'clock hour, you have a very light commute both on US 95 at the top of your screen and on I-15 at the bottom of your screen. Of course, if you drive this area in the morning rush hour, you know it's a totally different story. Southbound I-15 bogged down every single morning in between Charleston and Okie, actually backed up all the way through the Spaghetti Bowl. That is because of work on this sound wall right here. And we've been telling you with eager anticipation how that's going to go away at the end of this week. Well, not anymore. The Nevada Department of Transportation has revised that date. Now it's going to be next Wednesday before they start pulling down this barricade on the right lane. That means get ready for another week of delays on southbound I-15. Grin and bear it, but this particular restriction should go away now next week instead of the end of this week. Tom Hawley reporting from Sky 3.
Something to look forward to anyway. Michael Amador said he was representing Margaret Rudin for free. But tonight, John L. Smith has the scoop on how Michael Amador was planning to make money from the case.
And a group of local kids come from behind to make amazing progress in the classroom. But first, Sue and Scott with a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Sunrise.
Approximately 20% of adults suffer heartburn at least once a week, and for some, it's more frequent and serious.
Tomorrow morning on Sunrise, we'll give you some food for thought about treatment for the disease that's causing serious heartburn.
More talk this week on the idea of metered ramps to help relieve congestion. But do they really make sense for Southern Nevada? We'll talk about why or why not.
Thursday at 5 in a Crime Tracker 3 exclusive. Before inmates get out of prison, they must face the state parole board.
So who decides who gets out and who stays in? The Crime Tracker 3 team investigates.
News 3's Nita Raditich digs deeper. Then at 6, we'll put you on the parole board. Meet 3 inmates, hear their stories.
Been in prison before. I was being irresponsible.
It would change anybody, I would hope.
Then decide if they should be set free. The decision is yours. Will you make the right one? Watch Thursday on News 3 at 5 and 6. You're watching Southern Nevada's #1 choice for news. This is News 3 at 6.
If you've lived in the valley for just a little while, you've probably noticed how quickly buildings and homes just seem to sprout out of nowhere. Residents in North Las Vegas should brace for more serious building booms. That's because the Bureau of Land Management is going to auction off more than 2,000 acres of land in North Las Vegas starting tomorrow. Right now, it's just a large lot of open space, but soon it's going to be developed into shops, homes, and businesses. The BLM divided up the property into 27 27 different parcels of land, and they range in size from an acre to 15 acres. The BLM started these land auctions back in November of 1999. Since then, they've had 4 large auctions selling off 622 acres, and that has brought in more than $48 million, which will be used for environmental programs here in the valley.
After her murder conviction last week, Margaret Rudin wants to fire her attorney, Michael Amador. She's going to court tomorrow, claiming Amador didn't measure up. And she's accusing him of cutting a side deal for the book and movie rights to her story that could net him a fortune. The Review-Journal's John L. Smith is here with the story, and it sounds like her defense is just blowing up.
Yeah, it really is. You know, there's the defendant's scorn, I guess we could say. After her conviction, Margaret Rudin has come off very hard and very heavy on Michael Amador. The issues facing this lawyer are very serious. If the allegations are proven, you know, there are all kinds of state bar issues that could take over. So it's a very serious issue with him on a couple of levels. There's a credibility issue here. She's questioning how hard he worked on her case. You know, and a lot of defendants go through this, certainly, but she's questioning how hard he worked on her case, whether he cut a side deal for book and movie rights, whether there was some form of drug issue involved, which is something that's a very damaging kind of assertion on her part. But she's obviously letting him have it. Now that the trial is over, she's letting him have it. Interestingly enough, she had an opportunity to push him out of the case earlier and didn't take it.
She wrote him a letter.
Yes, that's correct.
And we have some excerpts from that letter. Rudin writes, "Last week you reminded me at court you still expected to be paid $250,000. Plus, you said you're doing a book about my case, and when it's made into a movie, Andy Garcia or Richard Gere is going to play you." So he, in essence, is bragging about who might play him, according to her, bragging about who might play him, and here she is in deep trouble right now.
Right. Well, at least it wasn't Danny DeVito that he was hoping would play him. But you know, it's an interesting element. So many of these high-profile murder cases have issues that entail movie rights, book deals, true crime stories, things like that. Clearly, she was talking about it. There are a couple of lawsuits that have been filed concerning the supposed rights that were signed away in the Rudin case. So this is a convoluted issue, but it's an issue that she's focusing on Amador and blaming him for separating her from whatever those rights might have been worth.
Bottom line, though, everyone said, oh, whether or not Amador is taking the case for money or book deals or whatever, he's obviously taking it for the publicity.
Right.
Great case for him to get some.
Yeah, I think it definitely is. One of the other issues that Rudin raises in one of her letters is whether he was focusing his attention and whether he was taking on new clients. Now, it's very common for other attorneys to take on clients, but Amador was apparently focusing all of his energies, such as they were, on the Rudin case, and Rudin was very dissatisfied with that.
We know that you have excerpts from her letter, many more that you'll be sharing in your column tomorrow in the RJ. So we need to tell viewers, pick up a copy of tomorrow's RJ for the rest of John L. Smith's article, and that'll be fascinating. We'll look forward to it.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, John.
Thanks a lot.
Another hot one out there. Felt like triple digits. Did we actually reach the century mark? Dr. Jim Siebert has the answer coming up. Time to check out what's right with kids. Today, a school battling against the odds and winning. C.P. Squires Elementary has made a huge turnaround in test scores, and as a result of all the hard work and dedication, the students and teachers are receiving national acclaim. It's not every day that an elementary school gets nationally recognized, so there is definitely reason to celebrate here. C.P. Squires Elementary School was honored with the Lightspan Model Award, just one of 28 schools nationwide to receive the honor.
I'm really pleased with the success that we're having with Lightspan because it's an awesome program. The kids love it.
Lightspan is a computer-based program designed to help kids with their studies, and it seems to be working.
When we grow up and when we go to high school, they might tell us division, math stuff, like 9 times 9 equals 81.
It helps you to understand a lot of stuff and help your brain grow bigger.
Nearly 3 years ago, Terra Nova test scores weren't very good at C.P. Squires. In fact, the school ran the risk of landing on Nevada's inadequate list. But thanks to Lightspan and the dedication of the school staff, test scores have risen dramatically.
I think that they have better self-esteem because they are becoming better readers and writers.
Boy, talk about better readers and writers. Also in math, their scores have nearly tripled over the last 3 years. Hey, if you're tired of hearing only negative stories about kids today, you're not alone. I've received a lot of emails and calls from you telling me what's right with kids. I'd like to hear from you as well. Just find me at the icon at kvbc.com. Email me, and I'll try to pass the stories along.
CP Squires,
Yeah, great
a
job.
hand
Great.
from News 3. Congratulations, way to go.
A lot of hard work, too.
Yeah, we are proud of them. Some sunshiny days for those kids on the playground,
I'll tell you what, it's hard to go inside when it's so nice out there, although it gets so hot, too.
Yeah,
it might not be a bad idea. I know. Let's take a look outside this evening, and we're still looking at a lot of clear skies and a lot of hot temperatures. 95 degrees currently at the airport, 12% relative humidity, variable winds at 3 miles an hour, so we don't have a lot of wind to talk about either. It's warm, it's dry, and that's the conditions at the airport. Here's our live conditions at Flamingo and Sandhill in the southern part of the city. 98 degrees still, east winds only 2 to 3 miles an hour. It's hot and dry continuing. All right, here's the numbers for today. Did we make it above 100? No, missed it by that much. 96 was our official high today. Average would be 85, so 11 degrees above normal for this time of the year. The record was 102 for today. It's about the same for tomorrow, and I think we're going to be inching up over that 100-degree mark before tomorrow is through. Air quality is good. The days continue to get longer. Yes, it still is springtime. It doesn't feel like it, though. Weeds are high in the pollen category. Trees and grass are moderate, so things are coming down just a little bit as far as the allergy problems go. But we still have a lot of weed pollen out there. We still have a storm system that's passing just to the north of us, but the jet stream, which is a river of air up in the atmosphere that just pushes in most storm systems for us, is way to the north of us. It'd have to be right on top of us to give us a little activity, but we have seen a few showers firing up in the Silver State today. You have to go to the north, though, to get a little more moisture to produce those showers and a couple of thunderstorms as well. None of that's going to make it down here to the south. So 71 for our low. How about 101 for the high tomorrow? So it'll be very close to a record breaker for tomorrow. Kind of like today, but only hotter. Just think about that. Hotter and then hotter after that. All right, 72 for the low at the lake, 103 for the high. Tomorrow, southwest winds 5 to 15. On the mountain, 42 for the low, 77 for the high. Hey, that sounds pretty good, 77 degrees. Here you see the 5-day outlook. 99 for Thursday, 98 for Friday. So cooling, I'm kidding there, cooling as we head towards the weekend. Mother's Day, 95 for your high, lots of sunshine. Beautiful weekend for our mothers.
Yeah, break out the parkas as it cools off.
Something like that, too.
Thanks, Dr. Jim.
Coming up in sports, a controversy in the racing world that's being felt from Las Vegas to the heart of Texas.
And Las Vegan Andre Agassi played his first road match today in the Italian Open, his first round match. That's coming up in sports. Boy, not what you would expect in the first round for Andre Agassi.
No, absolutely not. He's shown by winning all those French Opens he can play on the clay courts, but did not go well today. Bad news for the #1 ranked tennis player in the world. Las Vegan Andre Agassi bounced in the first round of the Italian Open. He was playing in his first European clay court match of the year, and he just never did quite find the rhythm. Bounced by a little-known player named Alex Calatrava from Spain in 2 quick and rather decisive sets. The final damage, 6-3 and 6-3. American Pistol Pete Sampras also bounced in the opening round by Harold Levy from Israel in 3 sets. This upset not really quite as surprising because Sampras has never been considered a strong player on the clay courts, and more the same today. Levy ousting Pistol Pete 7-5, 2-6, and 6-4 in the third. Rahman gonna be a rich man. It's just a matter of time now. The new heavyweight champion is mulling over offers from HBO and Showtime for multi-fight deals. Both channels offering in the neighborhood of $15 million. If it's Showtime, his next bout would be with Tyson. If it's HBO, who's a Lennox Lewis network, he'll fight Lennox. By the way, Mike Tyson has delayed his fight on June 2nd against David Izon. Like the rest of us, he's waiting for the Rahman to make the biggest decision of his boxing life. Las Vegas 51's back home tonight trying to turn their season around. They lost 7 of 8 on that roadie through Canada. Maybe a little 100-degree heat thanks to Dr. Jim will help the alien creatures get their feet back on the ground. The first pitch tonight against Tucson slated for 7:05 over at Cashman Field. Texas Motor Speedway suing CART for millions of dollars lost when last month's Firecracker 600 was postponed because of safety concerns for the drivers. The high banking on that track combined with the high speeds were making the drivers dizzy, so obviously they couldn't race under those conditions. The Texas track, owned by the same company that owns the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for now. It doesn't appear the lawsuit will damage Las Vegas' chances of landing a kart race for next season. Our Our track does not have the same banking as they do in Texas. Also, the entire kart organization considering moving their corporate headquarters here to Las Vegas. And the Lakers and Kings will meet tonight in Game 2 of their Western Conference semifinal series. The Kings say that unless officials start calling Shaq for 3 seconds in the lane or for some of those wicked elbows he's been throwing, the series could be over quick. Regardless of what happens, Shaq Daddy says he's ready to rumble.
Any team that plays us is going to be playing way above their heads. And we get all the credit, we get all the NBC games. So, you know, they're going to be playing loose and they're going to be trying to beat us. That's what happens when you're the best. And I'm prepared for that.
And I don't think anybody's going to argue with him. Have you ever seen a more imposing guy?
Very serious, too.
I mean, for his size, really, I mean, they're going to struggle. They got Scott Pollard in there trying to stop a guy that outweighs him 100 pounds. I mean, it could be trouble for the Kings to get back in this one. No, there's not.
Thanks, Mitch. We'll be right back.
What's new for News 3 Nightside at 11 o'clock. Will this patch be the next best thing in birth control? Experts say it will work better than the pill. We're going to tell you more about that. Plus, a toddler is being called a hero after calling 911 and saving his mother. The full story tonight at 11 on News 3 Nightside.
Well, thanks so much for joining us for this edition of News 3 at 6.
We sure appreciate it. We'll see you back here tonight at 11. In the meantime, have a great evening.